your experience by choosing which meeting roles you fill and what speeches you give. Toastmasters has been described as a comfortable place to feel uncomfortable. And whether you want to improve your interview skills, prepare for an upcoming speech, or simply become a better communicator, I encourage you to give Toastmasters a try. We'd be happy to have you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, future Toastmasters. Okay, not yet.
Sue, you have 3 more minutes. That's not to worry. You can
Oh,
have fun until then.
My clock is fast. My clock is
You
fast.
can have fun until then.
Okay, thank you.
Unmute yourself.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, and friends. I'm Sue Faludi, and I am your Sergeant at Arms for this evening. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Division G International Speech Contest. As we begin, please remember to have your video turned off and mute yourself, as well as any other communication devices that you have. As you've been reading, This event is being recorded. By remaining connected, you are giving your permission to the recording. I now call this meeting to order. Before we proceed, please stand if you would like, but direct your attention to the screen for the playing of the national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Cattle grassy
Take two. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Division G Director. Help me welcome Saurabh Sandhu.
This is the District 86 Division G speech contest. The winner from a group of 17 clubs in the division will be competing to represent the division at the district conference. A warm welcome and a thank you to all Toastmasters and guests for being present. There are about 140 registrants to the event. To the many dignitaries in the audience, we thank you for attending and gracing the contest with your presence. I would now like to recognize our District Director, DTM Jocelyn Wazina.
Hi there.
CGD DTM Myrna Barth. CGD DTM Clifford Graham. PQD DTM Iona Rodericks. And PQD DTM Theodore Collier, who are in attendance.
Thank you.
We have the last contest in the district and you were sure to enjoy this contest. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our contest chair tonight. Ruby Talavera is a distinguished Toastmaster and is the president of Star Toastmasters. She has been awarded the Toastmaster of the Year and Division Governor of the Year in District 86 and the President of the Year in District 60. Please help me welcome our contest chair, DTM Ruby Talavera.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me now? You can hear me. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Division G Director. You know, I was just thinking today, I think I'm going to start a word of the day. G for gorgeous. Division G, gorgeous director. How about that, eh, Sabrab?
Yeah,
All
sure.
right, well, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. I'm extremely delighted to be your contest chair. Most of you know why we have contests, and most of you know why we have the rules, but some of you don't. So I'm now going to call on our very distinguished Toastmaster and Chief Judge, whom we flew in from Cambridge, Ontario, to be our Chief Judge tonight, the gorgeous Bill Kirby. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Thank you very much, Madam Contest Chair. You're right, I just flew in and boy, are my arms tired. What would a contest be without rules, of course? And although Toastmasters International is diligent and updates our rules every year and gives us pages and pages and pages to go through, we are going to give you simply a summary of what is important for this contest. And of course, the first thing that we look at is eligibility, and a contestant must be a member in good standing of a club in good standing. This has been verified. The contestants must have completed 6 project speeches from the Competent Communicator Manual prior to June 30th, 2020, and or earned the certificate of completion for levels 1 and 2 of any pathway in the Pathways Learning Experience. Contestants must not be a district officer in the current term or have announced their intentions of running in the coming term. Another important element is the content of their speech. Contestants must have created their own speeches, and each must be substantially original, which is defined as being no more than 25% of their speech being devoted to quoted or paraphrasing or referencing another person's content. And any quoted or paraphrased material must be identified as such within the speech. A contestant is not permitted to reference any other contestant's material from today's contest, since this gives an unfair advantage to the last contestant of the day. The timing is, of course, also important. Speeches are meant to be 5 to 7 minutes with 30 seconds of grace on either side, which means a disqualification can occur if a speaker has spoken less than 4 minutes and 30 seconds or more than 7 minutes and 30 seconds. We have already arranged with the contestants to ensure that the timers, of which there are 2, are highly visible to them. If there is a failure for the timers, the contestants will be given 30 seconds of grace. And I would ask the timers now, for the benefit of our guests as well as our contestants, to display their timing signals, green, yellow, and red, for all to see. Wonderful. Thank you very much, timers. All right. In the event of a technical failure, this first for the judges, if we fall below the minimum number of judges, the contest may be suspended, at which point I will speak up and announce that we have no longer achieved the minimum number of judges, and the contest will resume at such a time as the minimum number of judges can be achieved. If, however, technical failure occurs for the contestants during their speech, the contest will be stopped by myself making my camera on and opening my microphone, stating the words, "Timers mark the time." That will stop the speech, and the contestant will be given 5 minutes to correct their technical issue. If they have corrected their issue in that time, their speech will resume at the point in time that it was stopped, and they will be allocated an extra 30 seconds of overtime to complete their speech. If they cannot complete their speech within those if they cannot correct their issue within those 5 minutes, the speech will be considered over, and the judges have been instructed to judge the speech to the extent of which they have heard. If the contestant has corrected their problem and experiences a second technical failure, the speech will be considered over, and again, the judges will be instructed to judge the speech on the extent of which they have heard. A contestant will not be disqualified if that speech happens to be less than 4 minutes and 30 seconds due to a technical failure, but may still be disqualified for overtime. Protests are limited to contestants and voting judges. They have all been instructed as to what point in time they may protest because the chat may be disabled during the contest. Protests can be made via private chat to myself as the chief judge and will be addressed accordingly. We will be announcing a first, second, and third place. The judges, timers, and counters have all been briefed and are eligible to perform their roles. And that, Madam Chair, are the rules.
Thank you, Chief Judge. Now I'd like to invite everyone to please mute yourselves and turn off your video. I'm going to give you the speaking area, which is where you see the screen. And here is the speaking order, which was randomly selected earlier today during our contestants briefing. We have 8 wonderful contestants. The first speaker is Lien Nguyen. Second speaker, Rowan Faludi. Third speaker, Ivan Leong. Fourth speaker, Merav Richter. Fifth speaker, Fraser Pegg. Sixth speaker, TB Puskas. Seventh speaker, Olga Carew. Eighth speaker, Robert Fox. Is that clear? Should I repeat it? No? All right, contestants, good luck. Timers, I know that you have already shown the green light, but just for my benefit, can you show me the green light, the yellow light, and the red light, please? Excellent. I'll call on the contestants by name and speech title and name. And I will ask for a video and audio check. All right, Zoom Masters, are you ready? I don't see you. I don't see you. I only see myself. Where are my contestants?
Ruby, change your view to gallery view.
Gallery view. I am on gallery view. Okay. Audio and video check. Lynn, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Checking 1, 2, 3, seeing.
Thank you. Lien Nguyen, let's get physical. Let's get physical. Lien Nguyen.
I'm a lively person and a happy person. My friends would say that I uplift, motivate, and inspire them to be happier. Contest chair, honorable judges, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. That wasn't how I was at the beginning of the pandemic. when everything shut down. I was feeling down and unmotivated. I stopped doing everything that was good for my well-being and for my friends' well-being. There was constant bad news of people dying and so many cases of COVID-19 reported each day. I woke up in the morning, looked out the window, and I saw nobody walking around my neighborhood like before. The vibrant playground full of children's laughter was deserted. Feeling gloom and doom, I stayed in bed until noon. When I woke up, I would lounge around my house in my own pajama all day long without a goal, motivation, or purpose. I was feeling down and tired and restless. For the whole week, I stayed indoor. The air around my house seemed stuffy, and it made my head feel heavy. One day, I looked at myself in the mirror, and I almost didn't recognize who I was looking at. My hair was messy and uncombed, my face very pale, and my eyelids were tired and heavy. That's not me. I'm lively and happy. I didn't feel any life inside of me. I had to do something. That's not me. I want to be me again. I want to feel lively and happy again. And at that moment, I remember an article I read. It mentioned something that physical activity helps you feel better, increase your energy, and make you look better. Exercises is an emotional uplift. It boosts your energy, help your blood and oxygen flow, and make you feel livelier. Yes, that's what the article say, and that's how I want to feel. I want to feel lively and happy again. So I decided to go upstairs and got changed. I took off my yucky flannel pajama and put on fresh outdoor clothes, got my shoes and socks on, and ready to go outside, take a nice walk. I opened my front door for the first time in the whole week. I felt fresh air touch my face. Birds singing. Wow. I could smell the pine tree in front of my house. And I started walking. And then suddenly I realized the air is no longer stuffy. My head didn't feel heavy. And inside, I was alive. I felt lively. I felt happy. It was amazing. I was so excited. I called my friend and told her, hey, I just took a walk and I feel so amazing. I feel so happy. I feel happy again. She was excited and she called her friends too. And her friends called their friends and their friends called their friends. And they all started doing the walk like I did. Since that time, I have explored different trails, different parks, different conservation areas, sometimes on my own and sometimes with good company. But each time, it was like the first time. My body appreciated. I feel healthy. My mind clear and at peace. Inside, I feel happy. And my favorite place to walk is by the lake shore. After a long walk, I take in a deep breath. And I would sit down by the water and watch the clear, gentle water moving back and forth, back and forth. And underneath that gentle, clear water, you can see beautiful, smooth rocks like these. And being there made me happy and feel lively. So, fellow Toastmasters, if you feel tired, if you feel down, if you feel restless, remember that physical activities can help you feel lively, happy, and a lot of energy. I challenge all of you to do what I do. Let's get physical and feel happier. Back to you, contest chair. You ring my bell when
1 minute of silence for the judges, please. Thank you, timer. Audio and video check. Rowan, please.
Can you hear me?
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can see you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Rowan Faludi, do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Rowan Faludi.
Do you believe in magic? Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. As we embark upon 2021, sometimes it seems like the light at the end of the tunnel is still a long way away. And sometimes it seems like magic is just an illusion. And sometimes it seems like those tiny boxes of technology are like prison cells, robbing us of those intimate connections, the handshakes, the high fives, and most especially, the hugs that remind us of our own humanity. But we mustn't forget that magic is all around us. All we have to do is look up to the sky at that great ball of luminescence we call the moon. Is there anything that connects us more? Because no matter where we are on this earth, no matter our country, culture, or even climate, we all see exactly the same face of the moon. And is there anything more celebrated in story and song? Frank Sinatra sang, "Fly me to the moon and let me play amongst the stars." Michael Jackson did the moonwalk. And Bruno Mars talked to the love of his life on the other side of the world just by talking to the moon. Now, if Frank, Michael, and Bruno aren't enough to convince you that there's magic in the moon, let me tell you the story about Artemis and Diana. Artemis, or as his friends called him, Artie, and Diana, were a young couple from my very hometown of Richmond Hill. They were in love, and they probably had been since before they even learned how to talk. When they were kids, they would play together, they would go on long walks, and they would sit underneath the shade of the big old willow tree, where they would tell each other their deepest secrets and aspirations. And when they graduated high school in the spring of 1916, what better place to spend the day than up at Lake Wilcox? And it was there, while they were sitting on the banks of the lake, as the sun's long shadows gave way to the glow of the moonlight, that Artie gazed into Diana's eyes and said for the very first time, "I love you, Diana, and no matter where I am on this earth, I will always be with you, because all I have to do is look up to the sky and see your beautiful face reflected in the moonlight." And Diana responded, "I love you too, Artie, and I too will never have to be alone again, because the warm glow of the moonlight always makes me feel like I'm in the warmth of your embrace." And they vowed that they would cherish that moment forever. Unfortunately, moments are just fleeting wisps of time, because shortly after that, Artie and many of his classmates were drafted into service to fight in the First World War. And it wasn't even a year ago to that day that Artie found himself in what could only be described as hell on earth, in a World War I trench overlooking what would soon to become an icon in Canadian history, Vimy Ridge. Artie and his platoon stood in that trench, shivering, waiting for the sergeants to blow their whistles. And when they finally did, Artie leapt over the parapet and started charging blindly towards the flashes of machine gun fire. All around him, he could see his friends and classmates falling to the ground, getting sucked into the mud, almost as though the devil himself was pulling them under. But brave Artie kept on going. And then all of a sudden, he felt a sharp pain in his shoulder, and then one on his leg. And it was almost as though his entire chest exploded before Artie's world went black. On the other side of the world, Diana was having trouble sleeping. She sensed that something was wrong. She got out of bed and walked to the back porch of their farmhouse. She gazed up at the moon and pleaded, "Please, Artie, please come home to me." And she held herself tight, almost as though Artie was still within her grasp. Meanwhile, back in France, Artie's body still lay on the cold, hard ground. He tried to open his eyes, but the world was a blur. And then he saw a pinprick of light that was the moon. And suddenly, he was enveloped in a blanket of warmth, almost as though someone was holding him tight, before once again, his world went black. What seemed like an eternity later, Artie awoke in a hospital bed. The doctor, looking down at him, proclaimed, "It could only have been a miracle. With how cold it was and how much blood you lost, nobody should have been able to survive." After the war, Artie and Diana were reunited, and they lived a long and happy life together. And as an incredible footnote to the story, Diana's father was a man by the name of Alexander Marsh, who eventually sold his farm to the University of Toronto, where they built the David Dunlop Observatory, where thousands of people have been able to gaze through that incredible telescope. And maybe a few of them have been able to see Diana's beautiful face reflected in the moonlight. Human connection is one of the most powerful forces in this universe, able to withstand wars, and yes, even pandemics, because no matter how far apart we are, the heart always finds a way to bring us together. Let me ask you again, do you believe in magic? Contest chair.
Thank you. 1 minute of silence for the judges, please. Is that already a minute?
Hi,
Is that already a minute?
pardon?
I don't see the light. I don't see the red light. Is that already a minute?
No,
Okay, let me know when it's a minute.
now.
Now, all right. Ivan Ling, Ivan Leong, a life in between, Ivan Leong. Sorry, I forgot. I forgot to do an audio and a video check. Can you hear me? Can you see me, Ivan?
Yes, I can.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead.
Have you ever felt like you were in between a rock and a hard place? Have you ever felt like you just don't belong? Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and honorable judges. Today, I'm going to share with you my very personal story of living a life in between. But what does that mean? Well, you see, I grew up in South Africa during the apartheid era. What is apartheid? Well, apartheid was a legal system of white dominance over Black South Africa. The question is, what did that look like? Well, it looked like separate residential areas for whites and separate residential areas for Blacks. It also looked like separate school systems for whites and a separate public school system for Blacks. It looked like separate transport facilities for buses and trains. Even public facilities like beaches, public washrooms were separated for whites and for Blacks. In fact, even public benches where people would sit were separated for whites and for Blacks. But how did that affect me? So have a look. No, don't look at my jet black hair. I'm of Chinese origin. And you know what? We were the visible, invisible community. Why? Because there was just nowhere where we fit in. So how did I grow up? I grew up at the back of my dad's shop. My dad had cut out a portion of the warehouse to create a home for us. My bed was 4 large cardboard boxes stacked together and a blanket as a mattress. Mom and Dad slept on a broken down sofa bed. Why was this? Well, because we were not allowed to live in a white area nor a Black area. So in the mornings, all the boxes would be packed up, blankets folded away, the sofa bed packed away, so that for anybody walking in, it would look just like an office. And when it was time to go to school, I was not permitted to go to a public school. I was not permitted to go to a white public school, nor a Black public school. That's living a life in between. Well, my parents arranged for me to be able to go to a private Catholic school. And even then, the private Catholic schools had to keep the number of Chinese students really low in case it attracted the attention of the authorities. And I remember once I was actually kicked out of a public park because I was not white. And one time I went to watch a movie. I was bold enough and I told my parents I wanted to go and see a movie. They warned me. I went up to the ticket office fully prepared that they wouldn't sell me a ticket, but they did. And I walked in fully prepared that they could kick me out. I sat down next to a white person next to me, And I could feel their discomfort because they were not sitting next to a white person. I steeled myself anyway and watched the show. Nobody kicked me out. But that feeling left me living a life in between. And then many years later, due to huge pressure from the local Chinese community, the government finally allowed the Chinese community to attend a white public school. My sister at that time, much younger than I was one of the very first students allowed to attend a white public school. My parents asked me at that time to go and pick her up from school. And here I walked into the schoolyard looking for my little sister, and I was faced with what felt like thousands of white kids hurling insults at me, pulling faces and calling me names. I could feel the threat, the hurt, the anger, all those horrible emotions coming out of me. There was nothing I could do. I found my sister and pulled her out. That's living a life in between. Now fast forward to today. Am I still living a life in between? The COVID situation right now has certainly not been kind to the Asian community. We see this in the news every day now. Why do we still need to live like this? And it still exists now, and it has happened for so many years even before, perhaps not being reported. But even worse is that there were other ethnic communities that were being targeted. The Black community has been targeted for years. I would almost want to say terrorized. And the Asian community has been for years, but it's just been a little bit invisible. But why does it still exist today? You see, there's discrimination, and it comes in all forms. Religious discrimination, discrimination against the gay group. There's discrimination everywhere we look. How does it come about? It comes through this thing called systemic discrimination. But now, with all these riots and all these problems happening, there is a huge breakdown. Is there light at the end of the tunnel? I believe there is. Because with every breakdown comes a breakthrough. And how are we going to find this breakthrough? I believe the breakthrough will come when we get to recognize and acknowledge that systemic racism does exist. Systemic discrimination in all forms does exist. And when we can finally acknowledge it, we can deal with it. Mr. Contest Chair.
Thank you. 1 minute of silence for the judges, please. You can turn off your video now, Ivan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Were you within time?
Yes.
Oh, you didn't stop.
I just didn't stop it, but I was at 7:20.
Oh, phew.
Zoom master, is that 1 minute? Marav,
Test 1, 2, 3. Can you hear
can't
me?
see you.
You can't see me.
Can't see you, Marav.
I do have my video on.
Okay, I can see you now. Audio and video check.
Test check 1, 2, 3. Check.
Excellent. Merav Richter, the wishing well, Merav Richter.
Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. I believe you are never given a wish without also being given the power to make it come true. The ancient Babylonians believed that wishing upon the first star in the night sky would make your wish come true. In Greek mythology, it was believed that blowing out a candle would have the smoke waft up to the goddess Artemis, who would grant you your wish. And in ancient Celtic lore, throwing a coin into a water fountain was a gift to the goddess Conventina, who would return your favor by showering you with abundance and fortune. Madame Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and honored judges, what wish traditions did you have when you were a child? What wishes did you make back then? And when was the last time you actually made a wish? I'm going to tell you a story about 3 wishes, a wishing well, and how to make your wishes fulfilled. Many years ago, we took my little boys on an RV trip to the Rockies. Our first stop, Vancouver, at the Vancouver Aquarium, where we came upon a water fountain. I gave each of my boys a penny and told them to make a wish and throw it into the water. My little son, Liam, being 3.5, took his penny, hurled it into the water as he screamed, "I wish for a video game!" My older son, Aiden, being much wiser, older at 5.5 years old, took his penny, came to the edge of the water fountain, made a silent wish before gently tossing his penny into the water. I also silently made a wish, but instead of a penny, I used a dime because I figured if 1 penny gives you 1 wish, I'm 10xing my wish. As we walked away, I silently asked Aiden to tell me what his wish was. And he said, no, he didn't want to tell anyone because telling your wish means it won't come true. I tried to convince him that telling moms is okay because, well, moms have the ability to make your wish come true. But he wasn't having it. So I made him a deal. I would tell him my wish if he would tell me his. He agreed to that, but insisted I went first, so I said, okay. Okay. I wish for a baby, for another baby. And then I asked him what his wish was. He told me he wished for wings to fly. Well, the summer ended, our RV trip ended, and a few weeks passed. Summer turned into September. The boys went back to school, and we had completely forgotten about the wishing well and the wishes. And a few months later, we sat the boys on the sofa. We said, boys, we've got some big news for you. Mommy has a baby in her tummy. We're gonna have another baby. The boys jumped up off the sofa, so excited, jumping up and down. And as they were jumping, suddenly Aiden remembered. He turned around, pulled up his shirt and said, are my wings coming in yet? 12 years have passed since then. And I did get my wish. My daughter Ella was born. Liam, he got his video game and lots more over the years. And Aiden, well, Aiden started university this past September. He's studying to be a pilot. Looks like his wish is going to come true after all. He's going to get his wings. See, I came to realize that there are 3 A's to fulfill your wishes. The first is ask. Like Liam did, simply ask the right person to make your wish come true. Simple as that. The second A, act. You've got to take action to make your wishes come true. Like I took a certain action to get pregnant with a baby. And third, you've got to aspire. You've got to hold that vision in your dreams. You've got to plan for it, set it as a goal, and work to achieve it no matter how long it takes you. So, fellow Toastmasters, let me ask you, when was the last time you wished upon a star in the night sky? When was the last time you threw a coin into a wishing well? And these days, they're probably taking credit cards, even Bitcoin. When was the last time you made a wish when blowing out a birthday candle? And if you think of it, if you're 30, 50, 70, 90, you've probably got a lot of wishes in the bank. So, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. Close your eyes. Make a wish. Ask for what you want. Act, take action to make your wish come true. And aspire, hold on to that dream, hold on to that vision. Are you ready? Did you make a wish? 1, 2, 3. And somewhere up there, magical forces are waiting to make your wishes come true. Madam Contest Chair.
Where are you, Fraser?
Can you see me?
I can't see you.
I'm not coming up. Am I there?
There you are. Okay.
Okay.
Audio check, video check. Fraser,
Check.
can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can hear you. I can see you.
Okay, you see the timers.
Let me just.
Fraser, Peg, the sound inside your soul. The sound inside your soul. Fraser, Peg.
Music holds the secret. To know it can make you whole. It's not just the game of notes. It's the sound inside your soul. These words written by Triumph, a rock group, about their experience with music. Madam Contest Chair, honorable judges, and fellow Toastmasters, I want to talk to you about a music experience with my ukulele as my assistant. Together, we'll tell you about the ukulele's history, why we find this plinky sound so joyful, and how that sound brought a smile to my wife's heart. What fantastic place do you think of when you hear a ukulele play? If you're thinking Hawaii, you're right on. But what's interesting is this instrument didn't originate in Hawaii. It came from Europe, of all places. You see, A gentleman by the name of Joao Fernandez in 1879 stepped onto the shores of a beautiful island that was Hawaii, brandishing a little guitar like this one. He called it a branguina. From there, the Hawaiians loved this little guitar-like instrument so much that it became part of their culture. They embraced it to a point now. So when we hear a ukulele play, we think of palm trees, white sands, nice water, aqua, and beautiful sunsets. But the question is, why did they like it so much? Well, the benefits of music on the brain have been researched extensively and can be scientifically explained. Here's what happened when they heard the first strum. When they heard the first strum of that ukulele, it stimulated a pea-sized structure in their brain known as the hippocampus. And when that hippocampus is stimulated, it releases dopamine. Dopamine circulating through the body, which is responsible for focus, emotion, and good feelings. So in a nutshell, a series of tones evoked a really good emotion. These would be the same ones my wife felt when I surprised her by playing this ukulele on our 20th anniversary. You see, I never learned how to play an instrument, and well, I always wanted to, and my wife, like the Hawaiians, loved the ukulele. It was one of her favorites. So my idea was to play in front of her on that 20th anniversary, serenade her as a surprise. I just had 3 problems. The first one, I didn't know how to play. Second, I didn't have a song to play. And third, I didn't have much time. I had less than 2 months to put it together. But I had a plan. My plan was to go out on lunches, take some lessons, then pick a song. What song? What's a good song? Adam Sandler's Grow Old With You. Grow Old With You by Adam Sandler. That's perfect. And then I practiced. I practiced when she was not home, when I was in the car, when I was at soccer practice. And I even started a secret society of ukulele players right in town. Yeah. They groomed me. They helped me play. And when the day came, I was almost ready. I was nervous. So you can picture this. 20th anniversary, I set up the patio perfectly with a nice table, stars outside, moonlight coming down, a bottle of wine, and candles flickering just so in that warm breeze. My wife sat down. I said, honey, close your eyes. I have a surprise for you. And I pulled out my branguina ukulele from its hiding place. And I strummed my first chord. I want to make you smile whenever you're sad. Carry you around if your arthritis is bad. Oh, all I want to do is grow old with you. She had the biggest smile through the whole serenade. Now I know she wasn't thinking about that 170-year journey this thing made, from Portugal to Hawaii to me, so I could play for her on our 20th anniversary, then stimulate her hippocampus to release dopamine. No, it had nothing to do with that. It resolved itself to a moment that put a smile in her heart. Now remember Triumph? I use that quote. They found those in the lyrics, the sound inside your soul, the sound inside your soul. Now I can feel it. I felt it. The Hawaiians, they felt it too. And so did my wife. So the next time you hear your favorite song play, I hope you find the sound inside your soul. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. 1 minute of silence for the judges, please. Fraser, not Fraser, TB,
Yes.
audio and video check.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can hear you, I can see you. TB, Puskas, time to move on, time to move on. TB, Puskas.
Fellow Toastmasters, how many of you had dreams in your life? Maybe thinking about buying something that you've always wanted to buy, maybe about getting to your next step in your career, or maybe traveling somewhere. Well, let me tell you a dream that I've been having since I was a little child. When I was a kid, I grew up in Romania, and my parents used to send me to spend my summer vacation in my grandparents' village in Romania. It was a remote village, and there we used to have an old TV that would break almost every week. And when the TV broke, it was a disaster. I was not able to watch cartoons. It was a tragedy. And I remember I would run to my grandma, say, "Grandma, Grandma, Grandma, the TV broke. I cannot watch cartoons." She would do her chores and send me away, say, "Go, go, get Bruno. He's the only one who can fix our old TV." And I would patiently walk towards Bruno's house at the end of the village, wondering, how is Bruno gonna fix our old TV? I would get there, open the door, the gate, the fence. "Hey, Mr. Bruno, come over. My grandma asked me to come and get you because our TV broke again." And the old man would get in the door and say, "Yes, yes, I'm coming, wait." We'd come out and we would walk slowly towards my grandparents' house. And I was wondering, how is he gonna help us? And I was mesmerized because I've seen before plumbers, electricians, other tradesmen, they all had to carry big, huge toolboxes. But Bruno, he didn't have any toolbox with him. When he would get in the house, he would look at the TV and would start mumbling, I see. He would look at TV, all sides. He would bend over, mumbling more, I see. Then he would reach into his pocket and get out the 3 magical tools: piece of pliers and 2 screwdrivers. He would bend over and I could hear the tools clanging and would reach into his pocket, get another tube, put the tube in there and lean back, mumbling a little bit more. Yes, yes, I see. Would turn on the TV and boom, voila, the TV would work again. It was magic. And I remember that for me, this was pure magic. When I went to university, after some years, I was happy to get into electronics. And my grandma used to ask me, so why are you gonna go there? What are you gonna learn? And I would explain, well, I'm gonna learn all the, and I would go into all the details of explaining what electronics is about. But she would cut me off with a question. Are you gonna be able to fix our old TV? Are you gonna be like Bruno? And I would say, yes, Grandma, I will be like Bruno. I graduated. Meanwhile, the old TV was replaced by a new one and never broke. And I moved away from the electronics into another field. But I've always had in my mind that dream. I've always wanted to prove my grandma and myself that I can fix a TV once after so many years of school. And fast forward 20 years from that time, and I found myself in Canada as a landed immigrant. And I didn't have a lot of belongings. One of my friends called me and said, hey, I have a TV here on the sidewalk in front of my house, and it's in pretty good shape. Do you want to come and get it? I was not wasting a second. I got a duffel bag and off I go. I pick up the TV, go back in my apartment, put it on a coffee table, go back on the couch and turn it on. And for the first time in Canada, I watched CBC News for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, the image on the TV started to shrink until it got to a big white dot in the middle of the screen. I was desperate, but then I realized that that is my opportunity. That is my opportunity to prove that I am like Bruno. Of course, I didn't have his magic tools, so I went in the kitchen and got a kitchen knife. I bent over the TV as Bruno used to do. I open it. I bend the board, but I graduate electronics. I know how circuit boards work. I bend it back, straighten it, put all the covers, push the connectors in, told my wife, honey, it's fixed, believe me. I plugged it in and turned it on. Boom! An explosion happened and smoke came out of the TV. And then I realized I fried it. So fellow Toastmasters, how many of you have dreams that you've abandoned throughout your life? Maybe when you were a kid, you wanted to be a doctor and you're not. Or maybe you wanted to buy that nice cottage on the lake and you still don't have it. I want to tell you that it's okay to let dreams go. Throughout life, we must pursue our dreams, but we should not get caught in them. Dreams should fuel us. Dreams should push us forward, but dreams should not be the anchors that hold us back. Our dreams should push us towards our next job, our next promotion, next adventure. But when we move sideways, when life events kick in and change our course, when we find ourselves on a different path, we should not allow those old dreams to be the anchors that hold us back. So for all of you, it's time now to reflect and see what dreams are your anchors. I want you to drop them and move on. Find those dreams that fuel your passion and forget about the ones you left behind. And Grandma, wherever you are, I have to confess, I will never be like Bruno. It's time for me to move on. Mr. Contest Chair.
One minute of silence for the judges, please. Olga, I can't see you. There you
Here.
are. Video and audio check.
I can hear you. I can see you.
Okay. Olga Carew, it's never too late. It's never too late. Olga Carew.
Imagine a clear blue sky, a warm sunny day, a canoe in the middle of a lake in the Canadian wilderness. A family of 3 is paddling along on the canoe. Suddenly, the wind picks up, the clouds roll in, and the canoe starts rocking back and forth, back and forth. The person at the front of the canoe grabs on and holds for dear life. In case you haven't figured it out yet, I'm the person at the front of that canoe, and I can't swim. Madam Contest Chair, honorable judges, fellow Toastmasters, we all get busy in life. I'm no exception. Over the last several years, I've had a child, I've changed jobs several times, I've moved several times. Over those years, it's felt like I've spent all my time doing the things that I have to do, and not so much the things that I want to do, the things that will help me towards my self-improvement and growth. In spring 2019, I said, enough is enough. I have to do something about this. The very first step I took was finally deciding to find a Toastmasters class. I went online and searched for a class near me. As luck would have it, the local community center just down the street was holding weekly meetings. I signed up right away. It was one of the best decisions I have made, and I don't regret it for a second. That very same summer, I went on another camping trip with my family. And again, those feelings of fear came back. What would happen if the canoe tipped over? What could I do to help my daughter? When I came back, I said, that is it. If I could tackle one item off my list, I could tackle 2. So I immediately went back online and started to search for a beginner swimming class. Wouldn't you know it, my local community center, yes, that very same one where I was already attending Toastmasters classes, was having a beginner swimming class. But not only that, it was being held on the very same night as my Toastmasters meetings, immediately following them. If that's not fate, I don't know what is. So of course I had to sign up. The first swimming class day finally arrived. I woke up at 5 a.m. as I usually would. I went to the gym. I went to work. I went to pick up my daughter. I came home. I made dinner. I packed my things. I went to my Toastmasters meeting. And after a 14-hour day, I was ready to start learning how to swim. I walked up to the pool deck. I looked to my left. I looked to my right. I couldn't believe it. Everyone in my class was older than me. How incredible is that? It gave me the confidence that I needed to continue on with the class. Now, unfortunately, I didn't realize that I had my glasses on and I didn't own any contacts at the time, so I had to take them off and shuffle my way around the pool. But it didn't stop me. I kept coming back week after week. Each week we learned new skills. We learned how to tread water.
Am avut un glitch.
We learned how to do a front
Cred că
crawl.
mă descalifică ăștia, am avut un fucking
We
glitch.
learned how to do a back crawl. And about halfway through the classes, our instructor asked us to grab a life jacket, put it on, and walk to the deep end of the pool and line up. So we did. The instructor took one look at us and he said, "Jump." Wait, you want us to just jump in the pool? I mean, we're not kids. We can't just jump. But wouldn't you know it, every other person in my class went ahead. I was the last one left standing. I took a deep breath. I plugged my nose and I jumped. And I came back up. It was exhilarating. And I did it again and again. And a few weeks later, I even managed to jump into the deep end without a life jacket on. I'm so pleased to share that I successfully completed my level 1 beginner swimming class. I can't wait to sign up for my level 2 when it's safe to do so. And when my family and I went camping again the following summer, it was a completely different experience. I felt excited to go in the water, and I felt confident. So I'd like to leave you with this today. What's one thing that you've been wanting to do for yourself? What's one step, one small step you can take today to get started? I guarantee you won't regret it. Back to you, Madam Contest Chair.
Thank you, Olga. 1 minute of silence, please. Robert, I don't see you. There you are. Audio check, video check, Robert.
Good evening, Division G.
Gorgeous. Robert Fox, I am not an expert. I am not an expert. Robert Fox.
You don't need a parachute to go skydiving. It is the safest sport in the world. You get in a perfectly working airplane, fly up to 12,000 feet above the ground, open a door of the perfectly working airplane, and exit. In 12 seconds, you will reach terminal velocity between 120 miles per hour to 200 miles per hour, depending on your surface area. It has been scientifically proven that it is impossible to think about work or this pandemic while skydiving. After approximately 45 seconds to 1 minute, you will impact the ground, depending on your surface area. As I said, you don't need a parachute to go skydiving. You need a parachute to go skydiving twice. Madam Contest Chair, guests, fellow Toastmasters, Chief Judge, and Honorable Judges. I have gone skydiving 29 times, and I found out very soon that it is the safest sport in the world statistically. This means it has the least amount of accidents. When I say in front of a group of people that compared to hockey, skiing, surfing, hunting, boxing, rugby, regulated sport skydiving is the safest sport in the world. Within that group of people, there will be someone who says, well, I know someone who went skydiving and their parachute didn't open and they died. Hey, I'm no expert. Yeah, accidents do happen. However, what I said was, statistically, skydiving is the safest sport. There's always that one person who knows everything. They know somebody who knows everything, or they know it themselves. This person is the know-it-all, the expert. This person is annoying, and they enjoy letting you know that they know more than you do. I like to know a few things about a lot of things, as opposed to everything about a few things. For example, I drive a motorcycle, a Harley Davidson. 2 years ago, I went to a demo ride with a friend to test out some of the new Harley Davidson bikes. He was a little worried that he might accidentally accelerate too fast and pop a wheelie. Now, since he only weighed 140 pounds soaking wet, and the motorcycle weighed 800 pounds, I said to him, no need to worry about it. You won't be able to pop a wheelie on a Harley Davidson. And of course, somebody popped up and said, hey, my boyfriend can do a wheelie on a Harley Davidson. He's a motorcycle stunt rider. Okay. I'm no expert. I'm pretty sure my 140-pound friend is not your boyfriend, nor is he a stunt motorcycle rider. Don't get me wrong. The world does need experts. We need the experts, especially if they're flying the plane you're on, or they're doing a major operation of you in the hospital. You want these people, the pilots, the doctors, to be the top of their class. As for the rest of us Toastmasters, do we need to be experts? When you are preparing and considering doing a speech, you may think it has to be perfect. I hear this so many times. I want to do a speech, but I don't want to do it yet until it is perfect. You don't need to do a perfect speech. You will put all of the speech evaluators out of a job. We need something to evaluate you on. So please stop waiting to do a perfect speech and get it perfectly memorized. Don't memorize your speech. Otherwise, you're going to make a mistake, and then it wouldn't be perfect. And it shouldn't be perfect. That's not the way speeches are supposed to go. If something goes wrong, you have to learn to improvise. There's a quotation that I would like to share with you. You were born to be real, not perfect. You are here to be you, not to be somebody else. Stand up for yourself, look people in the eye, and say to them, don't judge me until you know me. Don't underestimate me until you have challenged me. Don't talk about me until you have talked to me. You do not inspire people by being perfect. You inspire people by how you deal with your imperfections. Remember, you cannot choose where you came from. You cannot choose your family, but you can choose who you become. Madam Contest Chair.
Thank you, Robert. We're now going to have 1 minute of silence for the judges to wrap up their votes. This is the last speaker, so what we're going to do is we're going to ask the judges, as per the chief judge, to go into a breakout room. Meanwhile, we are going to have a 10-minute break.
For clarification, judges, you are not heading to a breakout room. Simply email me your ballots as previously discussed.
Noted. Thank you. Ten minute break now, right?
Boris?
Now, before we hard-working, hard-rocking, pathways riding. Now, before we go, we'd like to do one more number for a very special group of people. Are there any hard-working, hard-rocking, pathways riding Toastmasters in the house? This one's for you. We've paid our dues to get where we are. We got table topics that were truly bizarre.
And yellow lights that came on so fast that we had to hurry up to cram all the points that we wanted to make in at the last minute, but we still had a blast.
We'll go on and on and on and on.
Toastmasters champions, my friends. One day we will all be TTMs,
making an impact,
making eye contact. We speak with passion. We're Toastmasters champions. Everybody!
Toastmasters champions, it's true. And we'll make great leaders out of you. Learn how to lead here. Learn to succeed here. We speak with passion. We're Toastmasters champions of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Water Coolers. Thank you all so very much. You've been an amazing audience. Thank you.
Welcome back, fellow Toastmasters. If you have turned your video on, please turn your video off again, and remember to mute yourself. Help me welcome our contest chair, Ruby Talavera.
Thank you, Madam SAA. All right, fellow Toastmasters, let's give our contestants a big round of applause because they are all winners, right? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you,
me?
Ruby.
Huh?
We can hear you, Ruby. Yes.
You can hear me?
Yes. Now you've muted yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Can hear you now, yes.
All right, let's give our contestants a big round of applause, please. Now, this is the table topics portion of our contest. So I am going to interview the first contestant, Lynn Nguyen. Where are you, Lynn?
Excuse me, Ruby.
Yes.
Could you please let us know whether or not all the ballots have been collected by the
Oh,
judge?
yes, they have already been collected.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, where was I? I'm having a seniors moment here. Yes, Lynn Nguyen. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Lynn, tell us your club and how long you have been a Toastmaster, please.
Our club is in Richmond Hill, and it's called Fluid Communicator and Leadership.
And how long?
And I think I've been
in the club for more than 1 year.
All right, excellent, excellent. And you're enjoying your journey there, I guess. That's a good club.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Can you tell us a few more things about yourself?
Yes, I talk about taking walks and enjoying nature. That's the real me. I like being outdoor, and I find it very rewarding, and it gives you a lot of internal happiness when you take a walk by yourself or with others.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Let's get physical. Thank you, Lean.
Thank you.
All right, our next person to be interviewed is Rowan Faludi. Now, Rowan, I know that you were Area Governor of the Year a few years ago. Can you tell us the club you're representing tonight and how long you have been a Toastmaster?
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. I am representing Club Toastmasters Franco Fun. And I don't remember how long I've been a Toastmaster, but I think Johnny MacDonald was Prime Minister at the time.
Okay, now I know you are a scuba diver, and other than scuba diving, do you have any other interests?
Yeah, I love cycling. And Sue and I have cycled all over Europe. We've been cycled through Austria, Switzerland, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Hungary. So it's a great way to see the world.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do you believe in magic? So do you prefer the underwater world or the life here in Richmond Hill?
Well, I'll tell you what, once you've been underwater, you do believe in magic. It is an incredible atmosphere, and you know, I've so missed it over the last year and a half because we haven't been able to go diving.
Okay, thank you, Rowan.
All right, thank you.
Now we go to Ivan Long. Ivan, where are you? Ivan.
I'm here, but the video just doesn't want to start. So sorry, it's just is unable to start video.
Okay, well, I can still ask you some questions.
Yes.
We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Good.
Which club are you representing
Oh,
tonight?
there you go. It's working now.
Excellent,
Here
Ivan. Which club are you representing tonight, and how long have you been a Toastmaster?
I'm representing the Speakers of the Hill Club, and I've been with Toastmaster on and off maybe for about 5 years.
Excellent. Now, I know that you have said that you're retired. What did you do before, and what are you doing now?
Well, I used to run a printing business, my own printing business I ran for 23 years, and now I work for my wife. As a very well-behaved husband.
As a very well-behaved husband. Was that Santa?
Yes, that's it. That is Santa.
All right. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you so much. Now let me call on Merav. Merav Richter.
Hi, Ruby.
I don't see you. There you are, my
Hello,
gorgeous
hello.
Merav.
Oh,
Club
Division
name
G.
and how long you have been a Toastmaster?
I started at Golden Gavel about 11 years ago, and now I liked it so much. Now I'm at Thornhill Toastmasters. Not only am I a member, but I'm also the president. I like it that much.
Wonderful. Tell us about your TEDx experience.
Oh, it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I have to say, as great as that experience was, it really, I was prepared for it because of Toastmasters. I wouldn't have been able to have that experience without having the preparation and the skills that I learned in Toastmasters. Toastmasters opened so many doors for me.
Excellent. Tell us about your most memorable experience above the skies. I know what you do, and some people might not know what you do. if you would like to share that with us.
Well, I am currently a bird that has been grounded by choice, but for 26 years, I have been a flight attendant with Air Canada and also took some time in the training department. Memorable experiences in the sky, so many. The more you travel, the more you become a storyteller. There's too many to name, but the best part is ask me in my private time if we've ever seen anything out the windows that are mysterious, and I'll share that privately.
All right. Thank you, Mirav. Our next contestant, speaker Fraser Pegg. Where are you, Fraser?
I'm right here. Hello? Hi.
Your club name and how long you've been a Toastmaster, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am with the Feel Good Toastmasters in Richmond Hill, and I started Toastmasters in February of 2020.
Oh, wonderful. That's about a year ago.
Mhm.
Other than music, what else do you like to do?
I like to do, well, cycling, but not, I don't get a chance to go around the world like Rowan has, but I used to race mountain bikes. I was a mountain bike racer and I got into adventure racing, which was anywhere from 8 hours long to 30 hours long, nonstop. So it was running, canoeing, swimming, and biking. And I'm working to get back into that.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Fraser. Now, Olga Carew, it's never too late. Where are you?
I'm here. Hello.
There you are. Okay, your club name and how long have you been a Toastmaster?
I am with Maple Toastmasters, and I have been part of Toastmasters for almost 2 years.
Wonderful, wonderful. Can you share your favorite quote with us?
Oh my goodness. I know I put it in there somewhere, but I don't think I can recite it. I never include quotes in my speeches because I can't remember them, but I know it's by Brene Brown, and I know that it's about not doing things alone.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but Ruby, I believe you have it in front of you.
You don't have to do it all of it alone. We were never meant to be.
That's right.
Yeah. Why do you like that quote?
It's a good reminder. I have a tendency to sometimes try and do a little bit too much on my own, and it's a reminder for myself that there are lots of people out there who want to help, and we can really accomplish a lot more if we do it together.
Great, great. Thank you. And good luck with your swimming.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we have Robert Fox.
Did we miss somebody, Ruby? Did we miss TB? Or did I fall asleep?
Did I forget TB? Oh my goodness, TB. I am so sorry.
No worries, no worries.
You know, TB, let me look for your bio. But before
Okay,
you
don't need to look for it.
I know that you came in second at the District Humorous contest a few years ago, and I was there, and you were so funny.
Yeah.
Tell us about that experience, TB. But before you do that,
yes.
Which club are you with?
I'm with the Woodbridge Toastmasters, and I joined Toastmaster back in 2011.
Right. Okay.
And so 10 years ago.
Okay.
And yes, so that was my first time getting into that level at the district level, and it was a very interesting experience. It's a learning opportunity for all of us. It's the higher we go, these competitions, the more challenging and fun is. So it's a great experience, and that's why we encourage every single Toastmasters to take advantage of contest and compete, because it's definitely getting out of the club. It's a different it's in a different league.
Thank you so much, TV. And now I call on Robert Fox. Robert, where are you?
Hey, Ruby.
There you are. Last time, Robert, I remember you talked about my favorite topic.
I did.
Chocolates. Tell us which club you belong to and how long you have been a Toastmaster.
Well, I'll tell you, Ruby. I'm with Richmond Hill Toastmasters Club 1963. And back in 2009, I joined up with Toastmasters at a little club called Markham Toastmasters. Stayed there for about 3 years and then joined up with the Richmond Hill Toastmasters.
Okay, excellent. Now, I think you were talking about, let me see here. You were talking about your most favorite movies. Which one is your most favorite movie?
My most favorite movie is 1933 City Lights, starring Charlie Chaplin. And it is one of the best movies I think ever made about the little tramp who meets the blind flower girl. And through his struggles, he makes enough money to help her regain her sight. And the end of the film always makes me cry.
Wow, wow. Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for all your contributions to our speech contest tonight. And what is next on our program? Is it our district contestants? I don't see my agenda here. Madam SAA, can you tell me what is next on the program, please?
Just pulling it up for you there, Ruby. Yes, it is the district officer candidates introductions.
All right, well, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests, let me now introduce to you our very own distinguished Toastmaster, none other than our District Director, Jocelyn Vecina.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is my pleasure to introduce to you tonight the candidates that are running for election at the upcoming April 17 Spring Conference. Candidates, could you please turn on your video? The nominated candidate for District 86 are, for the position of District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Myrna Barth.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
For the position of District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Clifford Graham.
Salute. Salute, everyone.
For the position of Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Deirdre Collier.
Good evening, all. It's a fabulous evening.
For the position of Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Glynis D'Souza.
Hello, everybody.
For the position of Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Sylvette Mahoney.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. It's a pleasure being with you today.
For the position of Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Nancy Movren.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters.
Running from the floor for the position of Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Brad Mamone.
Great contest. Cheers. Oh, that's tea, by the way.
For the position of Division F Director, DL5, Harinder Singh.
Hello, everyone.
For the position of Division T Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Anna DeMarchi Meyers.
Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here tonight.
For the position of Division W Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Ross Deacon. Okay. For the District 1, 2, 3 nominated candidates, For the position of District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Dan Bell.
Good evening, everyone.
For the position of District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Chris Nelson.
Good evening.
For the position of Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Sudha Dada.
Good evening, everyone. Glad to be here.
For the position of Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Lisa Devine.
Good evening, everyone.
For the position of Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Iona Rodrigues.
Hi, everyone.
For the position of Division B Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Cheryl Bates.
Hi there. Good evening. My pleasure to attend this evening.
For the position of Division E Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Diane Payton Sutherland.
Hello, everybody.
Running from the floor for the position of Division M Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Barry Doctor.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
And those are the running candidates for the upcoming election on April the 17th. Back to you, Madam Contest Chair.
Thank you so much, Madam District Director. And now I think we have a video for the spring conference, don't we? Mr. Zoom Master. Show us the video, please.
Hello?
Bill.
Yeah.
I don't have the words. Oh,
Hi, my name is John, and I'm here with Ritu, and we are your conference chairs for the Spring Conference 2021. We know you missed the 2020 conference. Everybody did. It didn't happen. Maybe you even missed conferences before that, but you don't have to miss this one. This conference is virtual and it's free.
Yes, it's free. Imagine the possibilities. This conference has a huge value. For starters, it's going to be all the way from April 12th to April 18th. First 4 days, we're going to have workshops in the evenings, and April 16th, 17th, 18th will be full agenda conference. We're going to have keynote speeches, international speech contest, business meeting, entertainment, parade of banners, and much more.
So you heard about all the great things. When you think about imagine the possibilities, we know you've missed other conferences. You don't have to miss this one.
itself. All right. Fellow Toastmasters, are you ready now for the awards presentation? Can you hear me? No.
Yes.
Oh, you can hear me. All right. Do we have the Oscars awards music, Mr. Zoom Master? We don't. I guess we don't. All right, well, let's have a drum roll for the winners for tonight's contest.
Madam Contest Chair, Madam Contest Chair, Madam Contest Chair.
Yes.
Can we
I was
stop
just
the music,
going to
please?
announce that there is one disqualification. Was that what you were going
Okay.
to remind me?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Well, let me say that again. We had one disqualification because of time violation. All right, let's have the Oscars music.
I don't remember if I took that and now or not. Oh, Dios mío.
Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The third place winner is Ivan Leon. Second place winner is Robert Fox. And the winner of the Division G contest, who will be representing Division G for Gorgeous on April 18th, is Marav Richter. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for the winners and all the other contestants. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our Division G Director, Sarab Sandhu, for his closing comments.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and all who are visiting here. Thank you very much for attending, and I hope you enjoy the contest. And we know that we have our contest, which is going, the district contest is on the April 17th, must come there. And with that, I would like to thank all the contest chair, the chief judge, the volunteers, and the organizer who made this thing a good success. Thank you very much. And back to you, Ruby.
All right. Let me now call on our contest organizer, the person who made all of this possible, Mr. Donald Ham. Don.
Thank you, Madam Contest Chair. Well, as we come to the end of the night, I just want to thank everybody. Thank you, all the members of the organizing committee, for making this night possible. You are awesome. You're so capable and so dedicated. You made this, my job, so easy. In fact, I got kicked out twice, but I didn't have to worry because I knew the contest was in good hands. So thank you for doing a great job. Ruby, you did an awesome job as the contest chair. Chief Judge Bill, your planning is just so meticulous. And of course, the 12 secret judges, you know who you are. Thank you so much. Timers, Anna Maria and Olga, thank you for doing an awesome job. Ballot counters, Orna, Ilana, thank you for doing a great job. And of course, this couldn't have happened without the mastery of the Zoom masters, Boris Durujan and Sue Faludi and Jade Wilton Watson. Thank you so much for making this happen. And there are many other people in the background who helped out and gave us good advice. So thank you for that. Thank you also to our Division G Director, Sarab Sandhu, for his leadership and putting a team together and his guidance. And of course, the area directors, all of you, if you're there, thank you so much for chasing down all those important documents that I had some difficulty getting, but you got them all to me on time. So thank you very much for that. And finally, of course, all the people that came out today, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and the dignitaries, thank you so much for coming out. And finally, the contestants, you made tonight special. You have shown what this division can do. Thank you so much. With that, I turn it back to you, Madam Contest Chair.
Thank you, Don. And remember, what does G stand for in Division G, everyone?
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Okay, good night, and make sure you drive safely. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ruby.
Thanks, everybody. Organizing team. Awesome job. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Well done, Don.
Good night.
I guess I couldn't get my wish of seeing the three finalists together on one screen so we can get their pictures.
Oh,
I kept asking for that. I kept asking for that. In fact,